Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage United States Congressman Mike Waltz.
Hello, South Carolina. Is this Trump country? Listen, I stand before you right here, right now, at this moment of history, proudly, as the first Green Beret ever elected to Congress, and I salute you. How many veterans we got out here? Stand up. Stand up. Thank you. And I've got my wife here as a veteran, too. She's got more combat tours than I do. Listen, I want to tell you a story, a quick story about the man, the leader, the commander-in-chief that is Donald J. Trump. We all remember, the whole world remembers, and history will never forget, the disgraceful debacle, the stain that was the withdrawal from Afghanistan under Joe Biden. And you know who remembers it every day that they wake up? The 13 new Gold Star families that lost their sons and daughters and were put in an impossible situation. Well, we recently had them in for a hearing in Congress. The Republicans did. They still haven't gotten their loved ones' effects. Some of them got the cell phones, but their SIM cards were removed. They're getting conflicting stories on what happened, those final moments. Well, this won't surprise you. None of them, not one of them, could get a meeting with Joe Biden. He won't even say their names. Has not said their names in 3 years. So you know what we did? We called up President Trump. He was not going to drive out of the park up at Bedminster, of course. We called up President Trump. He said, Michael, get him up here. Get him up here. God bless this man. He was supposed to spend an hour with him. He ended up seeing them one-on-one. He heard their stories. He promised when he gets back into office, he is going to release all the tapes, all the footage, all the drones. He is going to make them whole. And you know what? By the end of the night, he was scheduled to spend an hour. The man's kind of busy. He spends 5 hours with him. He takes him to dinner. By the end of the night, these moms are crying. They're laughing. They're dancing with their husbands. 3 of the moms came up to me afterwards, and my wife Julia, and said, this is the best thing that happened to me since I lost my son. That is, you'll never see that on the mainstream media. You'll never see that. They'll never show that side of Donald Trump, but we know, you know, this is the commander-in-chief that we need. And I guarantee you, you will never see Donald Trump looking at his watch as the flags go by at Dover Air Force Base. So look at the world just in the last 3 years. I'm a 27-year Army veteran. I know the commander-in-chief that we need. Just a few years ago, we had maximum pressure on the Ayatollahs under Trump. Now under Biden, they're flush with cash and supporting terrorism all over the world. Trump takes out Soleimani. Biden, he's playing patty cakes and letting 5 of our troops get killed, including 2 of my Navy SEAL brothers. We had the Abraham Accords under Trump. Now we've got Hamas attacking our greatest ally and massacring civilians. We had tariffs on China under Trump. Under Biden, what do we get? A spy balloon floating over our biggest and most secret nuclear bases. Kid you not. Putin, he wouldn't have dared done what he did under Trump. I hope he tells the story today. He told Putin he'll take the tops off of the Kremlin if he dares do that. Now we're on the verge of World War III. And this is the one that pisses me off. This is the one that really pisses me off. Well, there's a couple. But how about the Europeans? How about NATO pay up? Like Trump told him to do. What does Biden do? He tells you to pay up in terms of their defense. And the worst of it all President Trump made sure our military members, we have a sacred duty to make sure they got the planes, they got the tanks, they got the ships, they got the equipment that our veterans and military members need. What's Biden doing? He's running around worried about pronouns and renaming bases, and now we've got a recruiting crisis on our hands. Look, Biden's so obsessed with what color all of our military members are. You know the only color Trump's worried about? Red, white, and blue, baby. That's it. That is it. And that's all you should be worried about, because that's all our enemies are worried about. So look, we need a commander-in-chief that is strong. We need a commander-in-chief that cares. We need a commander-in-chief that, I don't know, doesn't lose sight of his or lose track of his Secretary of Defense for a week, doesn't even know he's in the hospital. But most of all, folks, and this is deadly serious, we need a commander-in-chief that our enemies respect and fear. And fear. America needs Donald J. Trump back in that White House. Our veterans need Donald J. Trump back in that White House. The world needs Donald J. Trump back in that White House. And in 2 weeks, South Carolina, you're going to send that message loud and clear, not just to South Carolina, not just to America, but to our enemies everywhere. I salute you. Let's go kick some ass, South Carolina.